and welcome to another edition of Dungeons of the Dragons. I am your host and DM, Jourdan Lees, and with me today are my esteemed players. First up, we have David Nowers.
I'm David Nowers. I'll be playing Ruben Glowstone, the Rock Gnome Cleric.
And Paul Sunderhaus.
Hi, I'm Paul Sunderhaus. I'll be playing Glyphord, Hune. Today I have a slinky in my hand.
And Camden Dalton.
And I am Khalladak, the bugbear, rock pusher. I didn't have anything else. I should have prepared better.
Have you ever been prepared for when I give you your little call outs? No one has.
Nope.
Oh, not a single time. Happens every episode. Okay, well, let's just hop right back in after last time's exciting time.
Yes.
Last time on Dungeons of the Dragons, our three co-workers, Ruben, Glyphord, and Khalladak, accompanied by Arnie, left the guard station after an exhausting long night. They were immediately greeted by a rent-a-carts employee who handed them the reins to their next pre-rented ride. Before setting off, however, the co-workers convinced the sheriff to let them each take one Fuller's fruit per person for their journey. And yet they walked away with 8. After some magical animal collar shenanigans from Khal, the co-workers paid for a fancier cart and began to set out on their journey. Right before they could leave town, however, Miss Peapod approached them, thanking them for their help in getting rid of the mayor and Father Prigga. Before leaving, she shook each of their hands and then secretly dropped a note into Ruben's before walking out back into the city. A few hours after leaving the town, the group was suddenly attacked by a group of fedora-wearing fellows who fired at them with crossbows and magical spells. The group cleverly evaded their pursuers. Glyph trapped a driver of one of the carts in another dimension using his rope trick. Khal used some hunting traps to disable the horse of another cart. And Ruben, fireball. After the fight, the co-workers doubled back, and Glyph let down his rope trick, dropping the cart driver to the ground. Khal grappled with him for questioning, but in the process found himself actually holding a kobold in disguise, who then threatened if they didn't let him go, that Rick would send someone better. So, you guys are in the road. The one cart that was left in the distance rode away, and you have a cart that is quite damaged. Your original rent-a-cart's cart is basically no more, or at least it's damaged enough to where you would prefer to have this one, this new cart.
We're not getting our deposit back.
Does it still move? Does it have wheels and move?
Yes, it has wheels. One of the wheels is a little cracked, but it still works. It's not like, it doesn't look like it's going to break just from normal road work, but it's a little cracked.
So we could theoretically tow it if we wanted to be able to return a cart and keep this one for our own.
Yeah, and you have one horse.
About how far did we end up making it?
I think you guys had, you had
rest.
traveled about 8 hours on the road. It was late afternoon, maybe around 4 o'clock when all this happened.
And how long should it take us to get to where we're headed on the West Coast here?
Probably day to day and a half.
I'm still holding him.
Khal's holding on to this kobold. You guys can't tell that this is a kobold yet. But Khal can, because he was able to intuit it. But you do see parts of him when he's moving around, phasing through Khal. So you can obviously tell something's up.
This is a kobold. How they know?
Yeah.
That doesn't look like any kobold I've ever seen.
That's a kobold?
You guys can do intelligence checks to see if you can see through the disguise. With advantage, too, because you know what's going on.
I rolled 2 10s.
Yeah, so 10.
Okay, so you guys still can't tell.
I don't know. I mean, it looks funny, but I don't think it's a kobold, Khal.
I shake him.
He's like,
I shake him harder.
I
shake him harder.
Okay, that's as hard as I'm shaking.
I walk up to him, I guess I can see his hands are weirdly going through this thing's clothing and chest or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I try and grab its leg or arm or something.
You'll be able to grab through part of his leg and grab onto his heel.
There you go. Look at that. What is this? Huh. Hey, Khal, can I see that hat he's wearing?
Yeah, I just like do that thing that bullies used to do where they just like smack your hat.
And they pop it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do that, and immediately you see that he's a kobold. You guys just see the disguise just go away, and the
How
hat
about that?
falls on
Oh,
the ground.
let me see that hat.
Pick it up. I'll toss it to Glyph.
Okay, I take the hat and I immediately throw it on my head.
You have a hat on your head.
You don't look like a kobold or anything, but I mean,
Oh, it
it's a
doesn't work
hat.
that way?
I don't know.
I don't know why I would think that it would turn me into a kobold. It clearly turned
You
me
look
kobold
like
into
you.
something else.
I smack the hat off of his head. Same way.
Did you feel like a small dragon person at all or something?
I mean, it was shading my sight a little bit. I kind of want to wear that hat some more often. Pair that with the sunglasses. I think that'd be pretty cool, huh?
I'd like to tie. I'm going to tie him up.
You're much stronger than him, and
I did
up
get a crit on my strength to grapple him originally.
I'm gonna pick the hat back up, and I'm just in the corner, just like doing fashionable poses, just trying out different looks with the hat on.
You said something about Rick Dricker.
yeah. What about him?
Well, why is Rick Dricker coming after us? I walk over. Hold just a second. I walk over to Glyph. Should we let him know that we know who Rick Dricker is, or should we play dumb?
I think we should play dumb. We're pretty good at that.
So who's Rick Dricker, and why is he trying to? Why is he after us?
I'm not saying a word about it.
He's a dragon. We already know this, guys. You didn't tell me. I didn't whisper that to Glyph. We literally killed that priest. That was
Yeah. You're right. Good point.
Oh,
he was
okay.
a priest for Rick.
You're
Richter.
right.
Oh,
You're
that
right.
priest was for Rick.
That's
Okay.
100%.
The
Okay.
dragon.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely. So why is he after us?
Like I said, I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Khal.
I want like some slack of the rope, and I just want to.
Spin him around in circles.
Yeah.
And so you just lift him up, spinning him around over your head, just twirling him around. Go ahead and just roll an intimidation check.
Where is this rope on his body?
Just tied around him, I assumed. Like around
Okay,
his
so it's
arms
not
and
like
stuff.
on his neck.
Hope not.
No, I was thinking that I tied him up like how you see people that get thrown on a railroad track in like an old timey movie.
Nice.
So like wrapped up.
If this was a Tom and Jerry cartoon, you could yo-yo him.
You know what? I might try that. Can I yo-yo him?
Sure.
I got a
Performance check
22. Oh, all right.
to see how well you yo-yo.
12. I got a 22 on intimidation and a 12 in performance.
For the performance, you like roll him down and you get him back up, but the second time you do it, he like gets a little tangled up and just like hits the ground and stops spinning.
Oh no,
back
he
up.
like he doesn't hit the ground. He like swings back up and hits my elbow.
It's really-
I'm like, God.
Get you in the funny bone. But he's very scared. He's like, okay, what do you want to know?
Why is Rick Dricker after us?
Rick Dricker, he sent us after you because you killed Father Prigger in the other town.
How'd you know that? You got more spies in there? How'd you know what we did?
Yeah, we've got spies everywhere. But yeah, he told us to send Grundeval the message so that he doesn't come out and keep doing what he's doing. He needs to learn his place.
How's Rick Dricker know that? Why do you think that we have any attachment to Grundeval? Maybe we're just people who don't like dragons and we just didn't like that Father Prigger.
We got eyes everywhere. Trust me, we're not trustworthy.
Wait, hold on. So don't trust you.
No, that's the only thing you should trust us on. The
So
only
we
thing you
shouldn't
should
trust
trust you should trust me on that.
This seems like a
Never
paradox.
trust us.
What's this hat? I point to the hat Glyph is modeling.
A few more
That
poses.
That hat allows for me to not look like me.
How does it work?
Put it on, and it took me about an hour of practice, but eventually I was able to become familiar enough with it to just think about whoever I wanted to look like, and then that's who I look like.
How long does the ruse last?
You can cast it at will, so pretty much until the hat pops off.
Khal, I don't really like this hat. Here, you take it. I throw it at you.
Well, then I'll hand him the rune of deception.
Okay.
Wait, you've given me the rune of deception?
I don't need it anymore if I've got this hat. The rune of deception is only for an hour. The hat is
Oh, I
all the
see.
time.
Well, crap. Glyph doesn't need the rune of deception. He has disguise self. Who else could we get this to?
Where's Rick Ricker? Where's he at?
Down in his barge in Marshgump?
You on a barge? Like a boat?
Yeah, in the swamps of Marshgump.
So what's going to happen now that y'all failed to send us a message?
Well,
Your friends, they ran off.
as long as they think I'm dead, then nothing will happen to me.
Well, what's to keep us from actually making you dead?
I can keep helping you.
I
You
see-
can
said-
trust me.
You already said we can't trust.
Us.
You already said we can't trust you.
No, you can trust me in that. You can trust me. Just
here's
you
a-
can't.
Now here's a question, because as I have been informed by folks who know such things, dragons can apparently keep an eye on whoever they have met before in real life. So can your Rick Ricker, can he like see you right now?
I mean, of course, we've interacted before, so as long as I'm just like here, then of course he can just see me whenever.
So that means he can see us right now.
If he's looking, sure.
So we should probably just kill you then.
I
I mean, I don't know that there's any real. You haven't provided us with any kind of like benefit to keeping you around. What do you have to offer at this point? You're just a way for him to spy on us right now.
What else can you tell us?
What do you want to know? If you ever need a password to get into anywhere within the barge, it's very easy. I can tell you what it is, but I only if you keep me alive.
I'll keep you alive long enough for you to tell it anyway.
Well, I won't tell you to stay alive.
I'll tell you what. You tell us the password. We may not let you go yet. We may have more questions for you, but unless you give us reason to do so, we won't kill you.
All right, I'll tell you the password. Anytime there's a password, at least in the circles that I run, you just got to say Rekurthker.
Where have I heard that before?
What's Rekurthker?
Rekurthker. It's Rick Ricker's name backwards.
Backwards. Oh yeah, we already knew.
Yeah,
that.
we already knew that, dude.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got?
I'm not saying.
I'll spin him again.
Ah,
I guess at this point, I mean, just toss him real high as you can. We'll see what happens when he comes down. He doesn't got anything else for us. Hold on real quick. What's your name, fella?
my name is Codardo.
Codardo? Glyph, how high do you think Khal can throw Codardo?
Man, I'd put it at a good 20 feet.
I bet he can get him higher than that. He doesn't look all that heavy. He's thrown me 20 feet
He's
before.
not.
What's the over-under?
He's thrown me more than 20 feet before. I bet he gets him at least 30.
Listen. I don't have a whole lot of information. I'm just, I'm a hired gun. So maybe you could just let me go. I ain't gonna do anything to you guys. Y'all big and strong, and
Did he just say let him go?
Yeah.
I just swing.
No.
Launch him.
I was actually going to tell you to stop.
Make an athletics check to see how high you throw him. Oh God, 26. You crit. He goes flying 50 feet in the air or something, and
I feel bad. I promised him I was not going to I was going to tell you to let him go.
And he falls to the ground and splatters in a bunch of cobalt juices.
Can I heal him?
He's in juices, man.
I'm gonna go get my rope.
A wish spell will bring him back.
Dang it. That was not good on
Or
me.
a revivify.
That was bad.
Does the hat look comically small on my oversized
Yes,
head?
it's so tiny.
So there's nothing left in that cart that I fireballed. It's nothing salvageable.
No. Here, let me just roll a percentage real quick. The crossbow was not busted. It was a heavy crossbow.
I will take it. I walk back to Arnie. Arnie, you make anything of this situation? Rick Rickerson and his whatchamacallits, his goons after us. Anything we ought to be concerned about, or
Well,
you know how he was watching us?
He might have had a spy in the city. Wouldn't surprise me. He's got people everywhere. Many of the dragons have spies here or there, but Rick Ricker, he's definitely the one to get his fingers into everyone's business.
Gross.
What kind of businesses is he getting into? What's his thing?
Well, from what I know, I'm not super familiar, but he runs a place of gambling down in Marshgump.
Let's skip Sandrain.
And go to Marshgump?
It sounds cooler.
Want to go see a riverboat gambling dragon? I mean, since we're all here and awake and kind of rested. Sorry, Arnie.
It's okay.
As we was heading out of town, and we met Miss Peapod at the way out, she handed me a note, and I read it a little bit ago, and it feels like maybe it pertains to some stuff that we've been getting into. So if y'all want, I can tell you about it.
Is it good news?
It's just kind of interesting. It says, "Dear new acquaintances, I wanted to again say thank you for your help in getting rid of Mayor Arnold. He was an unkind man and didn't deserve to lead this town. So I guess we, did a good job. Now the truly important business. I know about the dragons quite intimately, I'm afraid." I don't know what that means.
Gross.
"And I have been living here for a while, trying to keep tabs on the comings and goings of the new folk and those that live here as well. I know Grunewald uses this place as recruitment center for his dungeon. I knew about Father Prigga and his alliance with Ricker. You must be heading out to deal with Veilregal, in that you had to contend with her mech men." So she does appear to know quite a bit. She knows their names and all sorts of things. I can give you this one piece of information about Veilregal. She's strong, but she has created a weakness for herself. She has come to fully be influenced by her love of technology and has made herself into something more machine than dragon. So
What?
So that's a thing. If there's something I have learned over time, it's that machines and electricity don't mix well with water. So, lastly, if you ever find your way to Ricker's barge, please say, "Oh, we should have asked that kobold." Please say hello to an old friend of mine. He's big man, covered all in tattoos. You shouldn't miss him, as he might be the guy throwing you off the barge. She doesn't say his name. I lost my faith a long time ago, but I'm glad to see that this group has someone to carry the torch. I wish you luck on your journey and hope we may meet again someday. All the best." And guess what, guys? Her name's not Peapod. It's
Peapot.
Peapad?
Peapad.
Oh, it's not Peapad.
Oh.
It's Brunhild Tallmound.
Oh my God. Brunhild Tallmound?
That's what she signed it as. Yep.
She's one of the triumphant. One of the three that was legendarily supposed to be the ones who got rid of the dragons from Terramere in the first place.
Wasn't that like 100 years ago?
Well, yes, but she is a halfling. She could have something that's keeping her alive a lot longer, but she's legendary. But she was a paladin from what I remembered. But she seems to have changed. I mean, I never knew what they looked like. It was so long ago.
Well, you just got to meet her then.
Wow.
So she's like
Big deal.
She's like special then.
Very powerful.
I've heard tell her before. I remember the Triumvirate, but I mean, you hear stories out, growing up, you hear the stories about the dragons and the Triumvirate, but we just never put a whole lot in that because we didn't have dragons to contend with anymore. And we just, the big stories and the heroes and the legends, we were smaller folk and smaller stories. And so I guess that name just didn't ring a bell with me, but now you say it. I guess if we make our way back into that town, we ought to, stop by and talk with her and ask her, why there's still dragons. Because isn't that the whole thing is didn't they get rid of them?
That was what the legends say.
I mean, that was like the story.
Which was a big surprise to me when I ended up working for one of them.
Well, yeah, you think even I heard those stories about hey, the three folks got rid of all the dragons. And it's like, well, Obviously, they did.
You worked for one, and I've worked for two.
Well, I feel like we ought to have that conversation at some point when we see her again.
It's probably going to be a plot point.
Wow, Arnie really breaking the fourth wall there.
That's a weird way to phrase that, Arnie.
On a separate note, if we could make camp, that'd be great because I am pretty hurt.
Yeah, me too.
About what time is it?
It's like the mid to late afternoon, like 4 right now.
How's Glyph? How are you doing?
Glyph could use a rest, but it could also go on a little further. But
Well, why don't we hop back on the road and I'll heal everybody up a little bit and we'll try and make it a little farther.
Make it to at least dusk.
Yeah, we'll try and get another little ways down the road.
So you guys take the. Did you try and take the rent-a-cart's cart?
No, we'll take whatever's better.
Yeah, we won't bother to take it. If there's just the one horse to pull it, we won't try and tow anything.
Yeah, you've only got the one horse, so you can take their cart, the one that they had with them. So you can take that. You are able to make it until about dark. If you wanted to camp out, there is like a little kind of rest stop area. It seems more or less abandoned, like no one's really there. So you guys spend the night here, and you guys end up then. Tell me if you want to do otherwise, but basically we're going to fast travel a little bit here.
Sounds good.
You guys
if you have nothing else planned for the rest of the roadway, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I think I want to spend some time just checking on the horse, like checking its shoes, checking just the quality of it, see if it's okay. And I come away and I've named the horse Chuck 2.
Okay. Chuck 2. Poor thing.
Can we put let's put the collar on him real quick, see what he sounds like.
Okay. You can put the collar on Chuck 2.
Khal. Hey, Khal. Give Chuck 2 a check with your collar. Go put it on.
I go put it on him.
Hey, what do you want?
Well,
Nice.
Not terrible.
Sorry about what happened back there.
Hey, it's okay.
Oh, you're fine with that. You're fine with the death and the destruction of your horse friend.
Well, I mean, I didn't know him really well. They just hooked us up for that day.
Hey, we're going to call you Chuck 2 from now on. That cool with you?
I'm pretty sure I don't have a choice.
What would you like to be called? Fonzie?
No.
Hey.
No.
Nay.
How about Mountain Strider?
Deal.
Hell yeah.
He's going to keep the collar for a minute. This horse is pretty cool.
Okay.
That's really all I wanted to do is check on the horse.
I do want to practice my violin, my fiddle.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to play my fiddle for a little bit just as we're roll.
Yeah, performance.
Just as we are kind of relaxing for the evening. Okay, that's a 1.
Okay.
So I guess it was damage. I'm going to work on that. 2, I am proficient with tinkerer's tools and can use them to construct tiny clockwork devices. I want to talk to Arnie and before I get in, I wanted to ask Arnie if he could essentially kind of learn me the ways of the trade and how he has constructed his little Iron Man hand thing, and if there was a way that I could potentially construct something similar.
Okay. So he sees you pull out your tinker's tools as you walk up to him, and he's like,
Oh, some tools. Oh, I've been wanting to get my hands on some tools, some good quality tools for a while. I've been hoping that when we get to Celestial City that I'll be able to go to the college and maybe sneak some out. But the fact that you have some is brilliant.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're welcome to, use them for a bit if you want to fix something or.
Oh, yes.
Well, tell you what, how about if I loan you the tools so you can, fix yourself up, what's involved in me maybe learning how you make your little, your hand, blaster?
Well, it's a kind of an awkward situation. That thing is, I'll just
And he rolls up his sleeve and he goes to the shoulder, and you see that it's a prosthetic arm.
I did construct this. It's some of the only material that I've got left that I've actually worked on. But since you have these tools, I might be able to make some modifications to it, which would be wonderful if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, sure, and I'll let him use them. What do you think? What if during some downtime, what if you kind of thought up and maybe we could tinker around and come up with like a similar product, but maybe more like a glove, something that slips on and off over your hand. Like, what do you think? You think could it be retinkered to that?
If I had the materials, I bet we could put our brains together and think of something.
Just a thought. Yeah, go ahead. You can use them. Just make sure and get back to me when you've modified and updated and rebooted and all whatever you got to do.
Great. Does anyone have any flint?
I have a tinderbox.
Tinderbox. That's plenty. Would somebody let me have some of your flint from your tinderbox?
I give him some flint.
And you see him like take that and run over to the fire, and he like does a little move, and he like takes his arm off and he puts it in front of him, and you just see him hunch over the fire and take the tinderbox and start working. And the next morning when you guys wake up, Arnie is like, he's probably been working most of the night, but he is like wide awake. And he's like, oh, this was brilliant. And he's clipping his arm back in, and he's like, finally. And you see, and he just starts like shooting these little fire bolts out of his hand.
Finally, I can do something useful on a regular basis.
What'd you do there? You were up all night working on that?
Yes. I just made some modifications, used some of the flint in here, and, put a few runes on it to amplify the effects of the spark, and there you go. Instant fire bolts.
Way too technical. Cool. I can't wait to see it. Where'd Khal go?
I would like to walk up, but I'm Grindelwald, and I'm like, Cowabunga, dudes! It's me, your dragon overlord, Glyph tag blessed. Just kidding. I figured out the hat, and I like to take it off.
I'd stop in my tracks. It was like, oh man, that hat's awesome.
As far as attunement is concerned, this is something you have to be attuned to. So I think you have 3 slots of attunement, and this is one of them.
I make a walk off to a little tree as the sun, I'm assuming it's like dawn or whatever, and I will say a little prayer, basically apologizing and asking for forgiveness for lying about not killing that kobold yesterday and then letting him get thrown in the air and dying because I feel bad about it. No RP necessary.
All right, perfect. So you guys finally get back on the road, and you travel for another day and one more evening. It hits before you get there. The next morning you travel for about half a day, and at this point you guys start to notice like more and more carts are now passing you guys on the road. Like you're actually starting to see carts coming by. So are you guys disguised in any way? Like is Khal disguised, or is Glyph disguised, or Glyph, are you like keeping your hood disguised up? Did you want to be disguised as your big human version?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an alternate name for him?
Howard.
Oh, okay. You're going to be disguised as Howard, the big brawny Howard.
Yeah, I think I'm going to slump down. Like, can you describe the cart a little bit more?
Yeah, so the way that the cart's kind of arranged is it's nothing like too elaborate. There's like a driver's seat, so you've got the front kind of, you could fit 2 people up there on the front, just seat. And the back is kind of like a cab, so it's very much like the back of a pickup or something like that. And there's cushions and things back there, but no, and then there's also space for storage.
Is it covered?
It is not covered in the back.
Could I at least get low enough so that there's like a rail blocking people's sight from me?
I mean, if you were laying down, no one would see you.
I think that's kind of what Glyph's angle is here. He'd lay flat and maybe kind of peer through the slats on the side if there's openings.
Okay, yeah. And even if you had your hood up, most likely no one's going to really notice you.
I try what I tried last time. As we're sitting there and carts are coming by us, I'll walk up, I'll climb the stairs. Just, how's the road ahead?
One family that hears you call out, they're like, we had the most wonderful time in Celestial City. You're gonna love it. As they like ride by.
As this is happening in passing, oh, do you recommend anywhere?
No.
Come on, Jourdan.
The whole city. There's so much to do.
What's Celestial City like? Is it like urban?
Go ahead and roll me some history checks to figure out what. You can roll with advantage, Ruben, because you know the area a little bit better than them.
I got a 6, which sounds about right.
Yeah, that is about right for you.
Crit fail.
Okay, all right.
History is a +3, 18.
This works out thematically perfectly. Celestial City is the largest city in the Sandrame region. This is where a lot of the people go. A lot of bards will go to try and like make a name for themselves. Also, a lot of big theatrical people would go to try and make a name for themselves as well. I mean, the city of Wonderwood, where you can make your name for yourself and become a star. There's a lot of people from various races that tend to make up the city. Pretty diverse, and very big and bustling.
Is there a big sign like on the mountain that says Wonderwood?
Mm-hmm.
Is it more of a bardic kind of place, you said, or?
There are like bards do tend to go there and like try and make a name for themselves in Wonderwood, especially. But there are also, and I guess you would know this too, there are also 6 of the biggest wizarding academies in
6
Celestial.
of them?
Yeah, 6 big wizarding academies in Celestial City.
Can I see it from where I'm seated? Can I look out and see it in the distance?
Make a perception check.
23.
23. Okay, wow. Okay, so even with your sunglasses and it being fairly bright outside this morning, you kind of like just look over the edge of the front seat, peering between Arnie and Ruben, and you just start to make out a big city in the distance as you kind of crest this ridge. And you can't see all the details of it, but you see that it's coming up. You also notice that there is a lot of cart traffic coming ahead.
As we notice that there's a lot of traffic, I guess the next one coming by, I'll like stand up in the seat, and as they're coming towards me, just be like, where y'all? Where's everybody headed? What's going on?
Well, I mean, you're going into the city. I mean, it gets backed up there real quick.
Is the traffic going into town or out of town?
Mostly into it, but out of it as well. There's it's just blockage. Just a bunch of goosenecking. So you guys get stuck in this traffic for about an hour or so as you make your way slowly towards the city.
Let's go! Move it!
Hey! What you talking about?
Do I have anything that makes a noise?
Mountain Strider, let's go!
I can't move any faster. These people are in the way.
Nobody's moving for a talking horse?
Hey, get the hell out of my way! I want some grass! I don't know, what's a horse want?
Arnie.
Yeah?
You don't happen to have something on your person, some sort of like some sort of mechanical object you've created that creates like a flashing, like a strobe light effect, do you?
I could maybe rig one up.
Could you like make it last for a little bit?
I'd need a rock or something.
I hop down in the traffic, scramble around and find a rock and jump back up.
Okay, yeah, it's no problem. The traffic's moving quite slow.
Okay.
You scramble up in there.
In fact, I want to grab 2 rocks just in case.
Okay. And he says,
Okay, I can put a couple runes on. Do you have your tinkering kit?
Nope. Yep.
Thank you.
Now, this is a question. All right, we're getting a little specific. It's something I saw. We used to do this back home. Me and my brother Dubin. We used to do this back home.
Right.
We had a different way we did it, but basically, if you can make one of them flash blue and one of them flash red.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it works down here. So let's just say I've never been here before, but I don't know how they work down here. But certain folks, when they got these lights that flash, when they have this signal. Everybody else gets out of their way. It's like real important. You're like you're big man in town, and people get out the way.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try it. And
You see him like take a few minutes and he starts using your tinker's kit and chisels at it a little bit. And you see him like pull a couple pieces of metal out and like weld them to it and like screw them onto these rocks. And then you just see him hold them in his hands, his eyes open for a second. You see them flash blue. And then he like picks them up and both of them are now glowing and like pulsating.
Red and blue?
Yeah, red and blue.
Is it terribly bright?
It's decently bright. Like they're shining within a 5-foot radius. They're pretty bright.
I don't know if this is gonna work, but let's. I'm gonna hold them up.
Okay.
Arnie, get ready.
okay.
All right, everybody, we got important business. Everybody, get out of the way. Coming through.
Woo.
Yeah, Khal. Yeah, keep doing that. Keep doing that.
Oh, I was doing that on my pan flute.
Everybody, out of the way.
Somebody that's in the lane of people leaving the city. One guy, he's wearing kind of like commoner's clothes. He like picks up a little piece of fruit that's like in the back of his cart, and he stands up and he goes, "West Side!" and he throws it at you, and he's gonna roll an attack. I threw miserably. It was like a 7. So
Can
Can
I try and catch it?
yeah, go ahead and just make a dexterity check to see if you can actually catch it without like breaking it.
Okay, so 11.
Yeah, it just flies right past you.
He's just yelling West Side at us.
Yeah, he just yelled West Side. But then you see somebody in the cart, 2 carts ahead of you, stand up and go, East Side! He's like, hey, let's get that cart. Let's try and move them forward a little more. Come on. East Siders for the win. And then the guy yells back, West Side! Shut up! And then they just keep moving on as they're leaving the city. A couple of the carts that are in front of you like kind of trot out of the way a little bit.
Thank you very much. Excuse us, folks. Important business coming through.
That's right. East Siders, East Siders.
East Side, we're coming. I don't know what East Side means. Coming through.
Only a couple carts like sort of let you pass, and eventually you guys start nearing the front gate. So when you start nearing this, before you are 2 large stone walls of Celestial City that tower hundreds of feet into the air. There are 2 large gates that open to allow cart traffic to flow slightly more efficiently than some other gates. One gate allows for people to enter, and the other allows for people to leave. Above both gates is written in glowing lettering a sign that says, "Welcome to Celestial City." Upon entering into the city, you see rolling hills covered in mansions glinting in the sun, which lie in stark contrast to the simple and occasionally run-down homes on the city to your right. Ahead, you see many towers in Celestial City, where many renowned wizards have come to train and study. But these towers are small compared to the massive gray tower near the middle of the city that juts into the air like it's trying to touch the sun, casting a large looming shadow across all who live there. So you guys are starting to trot into the city a little ways. You're making your way down. Do you continue to make your way down to more of like the city's epicenter?
Of course.
So you start making your way downtown. You're gonna make your way through this part.
Walking fast, walking.
You eventually are making your way now through this little part of the town where it's it's not necessarily like shacks, but some of these houses are definitely lower income housing, people who don't have as much money, definitely as the people that are up in the hillier area over there. Some of these houses are a little more rundown than others. Some are a little bit more kept up. And eventually you make your way towards the city center. And as you do, you start to see like these flashing, like holographic, these are like some magically imbued boards that are like advertising to you for different things within the city.
I'd like to do one of those things where like somebody's in New York for the first time and they're like walking in Times Square and like throwing their arms around and doing like twirls, like looking at everything.
Howard is spinning around in the back of the cart, holding his fedora as he looks up at all these like flashing lights.
I'm just in my head right now. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
Ruben, you notice something. Something's going to catch your eye. You notice something immediately that is kind of stunning to you. The sign is of this gnome female, and on it she's dressed in blue and white dress, and on it says Regal Industries, saving gold, time, and the world. And above her name, like above her on the sign, is this little thing that says Willow. But this girl in this thing looks a lot like your sister.
Okay.
What's her name? Jubin? Mubin? Klubin? Flubin?
Subin.
Subin.
I probably wouldn't say anything aloud about that.
All right. So you guys make your way down into the city's epicenter. Do you want to park the cart? Do you want to go somewhere in particular?
Are these billboards everywhere around us?
Yeah, they're kind of in various spots. There's like some just that are like plastered, like normal kind of posters and stuff.
I've never seen anything like this. So at some point, Glyph sits up in the back of the cart and is kind of just in a daze looking around.
Even through your sunglasses, this is still kind of like vibrant to you.
He turns into the high elf equivalent of whatever he would look like. So just a complete transformation from drow to high elf. And he leans up and he hops in the front seat and he looks at Arnie and he says, Arnie, what are all these lights? I've never seen anything like this.
Oh, they're just a bunch of the schools here. They invented them. I mean, this is where the biggest wizarding academies are. All 6 of the schools are here.
I run up to the cart and go, Glyph, isn't it wonderful? And I turn around and,
Khal, it is wonderful.
I guess these are just like illusory designs that many of the wizarding schools have created to advertise to the town.
Khal, look at the outfit in the window over there in that storefront.
I like run over and I'm like looking at it and like seeing what it looks like on me, like the outfit, like in the reflection.
In the reflection.
You're holding your arms out.
Yeah.
And like somebody like comes out of the store and is like, would you like to try it on?
I go, you know what? Yes. And then I go in the store.
Okay.
You were going to break that window.
No, I was going to like immediately make it with my hat of disguise, just immediately have it on.
Think about the outfit and it just
Yeah.
well for you. You can try on the outfit. What does the outfit look like to you?
It is like a brown vest with a white shirt on with frilly sleeves.
Okay.
And a frilly like little tuft right here.
Okay.
Like the frilly shirt from
So
Seinfeld.
brown. Okay.
The
Yep.
puffy shirt.
Puffy shirt.
Perfect.
Yeah. Green slack.
So you go into the back. He's like, we don't quite have something that'll, fit your size right now, but we can easily make modifications.
I say, my size? This is outrageous! And I walk back out.
Trust me, man. We're really trying to make strides in that direction. We really are. We really
How
are.
dare you? And we drive off.
You made a big mistake.
Huge.
And then I turn around and I snap and I just have the outfit on.
Oh, okay, yeah, that magic's been ruining my business for years. And he just like walks into the building.
Hey, Arnie,
Yep.
you've been here before. You used to live here, right?
So much nostalgia. All the colleges.
You know the college. Like, did you go to college? You were a student at one?
Oh,
of them?
yes. I went to full artificer. But there's many. I mean, see the tall one there? That's the Whippoorwill School of Necromancy and Healing.
Regal Industries. Is that a college?
No, that's,
As an
where
industry.
That's where
Regal
Venerable is.
Industries.
Regal. Oh yeah. What's the speciality? What are they doing? What's her? I mean, obviously it's like, robot stuff. But what would she be doing in town?
She began her business first by trying to find the most efficient way to ship products around the continent, and was able to do that quite efficiently. But she's then now saved up her gold, and she's now invested that into technology and robots and, well, the mech men that I created. Let's not forget that. And I'm afraid she's going to slowly start investing that into turning the mech men into her own personal military.
But as far as like Regal Industries, like if I saw a billboard just a ways back, what kind of stuff are they advertising for? Like local, like what could just like they got like local stuff that I could buy? Are they selling like house, robots for your house or?
Well, it's been a while since I've worked here, but before I left, there was some thinking caves where people were deciding, well, maybe we can come up with devices that allow multiple people to discuss with each other. There have been sending stones that have worked in the past, and some magic users were able to create, but what if we actually pooled a bunch of those together and linked them so that multiple people could talk to each other all at the same time?
At a distance.
At a distance, an incredible distance.
That sounds neat.
Yes, I don't know if they ever got that to work, but that was one of the things we had in our think caves.
So it's a little bit less about like the individual person and household, more about the big picture.
Do I by chance see anything that might say like to Timothy's trinkets? No.
Make
little
a
storefront?
perception check.
9.
No.
Okay.
There are a lot of stores and things like that around here.
What was it you were saying about the big gray tower? I interrupted you. You were talking about there's a bunch of necromancers, like that stuff?
Oh, no, that's not the big gray tower. That's I'm talking about the big green tower there. That's
Oh, the big green towers. That's for the necromancer people.
Yes, that's the Whippoorwill School of Necromancy and Healing. And the red one, that's Pyromancy University, and the one next to that is Poshpin's College of Conjuration, Transmutation, and Divination. That's Job's School of Illusion. Full artificers there. That's where I went, and then of course there's the little one there. That's Endra's Enchanting School for Girls.
So if I was wrong and the necromancy tower is that little green one over there, what's that real big gray one with the fire on top?
That's Regal Industries.
Regal Industries.
Have you said that? Did I miss you?
Definitely, like multiple times.
I thought we were talking about the billboard. You actually were referencing the giant tower.
Yep, the big one. That's Regal Industries.
That is Regal Industries.
Any storefront that looks particularly enticing?
There are like a bunch of storefronts. There's also like some really high quality inns around there. And
Anything in the way of an alchemist's shop?
Sure, yeah, oh, definitely.
I'd like to pop in.
You walk into an alchemist shop. Shopping episode number 2.
I walk into this alchemist shop for a second. I'll try and make it quick. Hey there. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Hey, this is a nice place you've got.
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
I pride myself in it.
Well, all right, okay. Calm down. I pull out my bag of the little fireballs that I got from the Jimothy. No, where'd I get these?
Yeah, you got them from them.
I don't pull the whole bag out. I pull one out. And I say, okay, so sir, what I've got here, I was hoping that maybe you could kind of like recreate something similar. This is a tiny little vial of alchemist fire, and I have in my travels used them as ammunition from a sling, and I was curious if you would, if it was within your capabilities, sir, to recreate such a vial, but with instead of alchemist fire, maybe it was water or ice, some sort of, it's.
You want me to put some water in vials?
Well,
I mean, I can do that. There's
I
no
would.
problem.
I'd love that. I'd love that. But I'm thinking, like, how can we turn them into like a little explosion, like a little ice explosion when it hits? Is that a doable thing? Is that an achievable effect, or is maybe we're getting out of alchemy? We're getting into just straight up magic at that point.
I've dabbled, I've got some people here who've gone to some of the colleges, evocation. So got some evokers here. Let me take a look at it. You come back by here tomorrow and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, tomorrow works. Tell you what, if you figure out a way to make a little ice explosion, but I'd also take a few that just had water in them,
Okay.
Might come in handy.
I'm just going to forewarn you, this is going to be like a custom deal, so it's not going to be completely, cheap.
Well, can you ballpark it real quick for me?
I mean, we're looking at, how many of these you want?
10 apiece?
Probably 100 gold.
Probably 100 gold. Tell you what, I'll be back tomorrow with my confirmation on that order.
Okay.
I appreciate everything you've done and told me.
Not a problem.
I walk away.
Jourdan, there are so many things I'm looking for in this city.
I'm glad you guys have ideas because I am like in a drought over here.
Just so you know, what I just asked for, I want versions of that have everything. Poison.
I had a feeling.
Electricity eventually. Like, I'm going to try and make all of it.
Yeah, I had a feeling that's kind of what you were gunning for there. So you've been in
I'm
there
done.
for a length of time. Arnie is standing outside, and as soon as where are the rest of you guys? Are you with Arnie, or are you?
I'm asking Arnie if there's any store that would sell, magical items to the likes of someone like me.
He starts thinking, and he's about to explain when Ruben comes outside, and he looks over your shoulder, Khal, and says,
Uh-oh. I think we're going to need to go.
To the store I was just asking you about, Arnie. Where is it?
I see 5 of them. Blue eyes.
You see 5 of those stores?
No.
Arnie, I am not connecting the dots here. You need to be more specific.
I think we have
look.
5 mech men coming after us.
and that's where we'll end it. Well, that was a lot of fun. Now you guys are in a new city. That's fun. That's cool. Lots of new things to be had here. This city is at least probably triple the size of Middle Branch, so there's a lot to be done. Maybe quadruple the size of Middle Branch.
We did so much in that small town.
You really did. You went places that I did not predict, but you did it anyway. Thank you all for listening and watching the show. We really appreciate it. We love all of the comments that we will get, all of them. Just let us know how you're liking the show. We'd really appreciate it. We will be back next time with some more Dungeons of the Dragons.